We got a lot to talk about on today's edition of the Red Sox Rundown. We're going to talk about another Paul Skenes trade idea. I know, but there was an interesting trade idea that was thrown out that I think we need to talk about. And then we're going to recap the Red Sox 3-2 loss to the Milwaukee Brewers. But before we get into any of that, we are 60 subscribers away from our next milestone of 2,000 subscribers. This is a big milestone that the bosses have been pushing me to get to. So I ask you, if you have not already hit that subscribe button, give us a shot. We give you daily Red Sox videos about the latest trade rumors. We recap all 162 games. We're here through the good and the bad. We're going to have videos for you. So give us a chance. Give us a week. Help us get to 2,000 subscribers. If you don't like us by the end of the week, you can unsubscribe. We're going to talk about the game at the end of the video because I'm not ready to crash out yet. I'll crash out a little bit later. But we had an interesting article come out. This came out about a week ago now, but it was such a crazy trade idea that I still felt like we needed to talk about it. An anonymous National League executive was talking about potential Paul Skenes trade rumors, and he linked the Red Sox to a Paul Skenes trade and gave a very interesting, I think close to absolutely insane trade proposal of what it would look like for the Red Sox to trade for Paul Skenes. Here's the first quote from the anonymous National League executive. He said, "If they looked to trade him now, I think something like 1.5 times the Soto deal would be the starting point. The reality is that few teams have that many good players to trade. I guess the Red Sox could send Triston Casas, Anthony, Marcelo Mayer, Kristian Campbell, and Tanner Houck, assuming they won't extend those guys." They've already extended Kristian Campbell. Writing that down makes me think, maybe Pittsburgh should make a call. Just give me a sec. We're going to finish, but we got another quote. The executive continued, he said, their return would likely be as significant a trade return as we've ever seen, though I see little reason to do that before the next trade deadline in 2026. So before we get into this, I'm just going to start by saying I do not think Paul Skenes is going to get traded this year. I don't think it makes a lot of sense for them. Like this National League executive said, he's probably more likely to get traded next year, but the fact that, there is not a 0% chance that he gets traded. Like, there is a few percent chance that a trade could go down. And since people have consistently linked the Red Sox, I think it's something to talk about. But let's talk about this absolutely crazy trade proposal. Triston Casas, the big three, Anthony, Marcelo Mayer, Kristian Campbell, and Tanner Houck, all get sent to the Pirates. And the Red Sox in return get Paul Skenes. I'm going to give my answer in a second, but you let me know. Would you make this Paul Skenes trade? You give the big three, Triston Casas and Tanner Houck, for Paul Skenes. Y for yes if you would, N for no if you would not. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. You're about to get hit by an ad break by YouTube. Scroll down while the ad's playing, let the ad play, and answer today's question. Y for yes, N for no. Would you make this Paul Skenes trade? I think if I were Craig Breslow, I would laugh, and then I would hang up the phone. The big three in particular are your future. And the Red Sox have bet big time on those three. And now two of them are up in the majors. This was written and posted before Mayer got called up. But you've got two of those three components now up in the majors with Campbell and Mayer. You're not going to give away your entire future for Paul Skenes. Now, would a top two of your rotation of Garrett Crochet and Paul Skenes be incredibly tantalizing? Yes, it would. It would be scary. But giving away your entire future for one starting pitcher who you would have to extend and give one of the biggest contracts, give the biggest pitching contract in the history of baseball, I think the Red Sox say no to that. Casas and Houck, fine. I got no problem with that. But also, I threw that trade through the trade chart, the trade value machine. And the total value that the Red Sox would be sending to the Pirates is a surplus of 197.5. Okay? Now you're probably saying, Jack, what does that mean? Just hear me out here. Paul Skenes' surplus value is 94.8. So you are giving more than 100 points of surplus value in that trade. That would be highway robbery for the Pittsburgh Pirates. It would make literally 0 cents. I wouldn't do it. I would hang up the phone. I would laugh and I would hang up the phone. And I think that Craig Breslow, John Henry, and the Red Sox would do the same thing. You are not mortgaging your future for one starting pitcher. It's not happening. It doesn't matter if it's Paul Skenes. You're not giving up the entirety of the big three. I came up with a trade idea of my own. I think it makes a little more sense. Value-wise, it's way more similar. The Red Sox would receive Paul Skenes. The Pirates would receive Marcelo Mayer, Brayan Bello, Luis Perales, who is your number 4 prospect in the organization. He is a right-handed pitcher. Miguel Bleis, who is the number 12 prospect in your system. He is an outfielder. And Triston Casas. So you would be giving up Marcelo Mayer, who is still technically the number 2 prospect in your system. You'd be giving up Brayan Bello, so you are sending a pitcher back in return. You are giving up Luis Perales, who is your number 4 prospect and is a pitching prospect, and Miguel Bleis, who is a top 15 prospect, is an outfield prospect, and Triston Casas. The values add up more for that than they would if you're shipping off the big 3. I think that trade would make more sense for both sides because you're getting 2 very tantalizing prospects in Miguel Bleis and Luis Perales, and you're getting 3 major league ready assets in Brayan Bello. You're replacing a pitcher. Marcelo Mayer, you're bringing in a shortstop or an infield anywhere, an infield or anywhere, and you're bringing in Triston Casas, who is injured for the rest of the year, but I still love his upside, and that is upside that I think the Pirates would be willing to bargain for. So I don't know. That would be my trade idea. Again, the trade values add up more, but to tie a bow on this entire thing, no, I am not shipping off the entire future of the Boston Red Sox for one player. It makes absolutely no sense. I would say it's borderline insulting. It is an insulting trade proposal. And again, if I were Craig Breslow, I would laugh in their face and hang up the phone. We are going to recap the 3-2 loss to the Milwaukee Brewers, but I'm just going to, one more time, real quick. I know people get tired of these, but I got to ask. Again, if you enjoy what you've seen so far and you haven't hit that sub button, consider hitting the sub button. We're doing videos like this every single day. We're breaking down the latest trade rumors and potential rumors, and I give my take, and then we recap the games after. Don't miss out. This is some of the best, most high-quality Red Sox content you are going to get on the internet. Help us get to 2,000 subscribers. It's a big milestone. We're trying to get there. We've been trying to get there. I would appreciate it. And also more watch parties in the future. I think the first one went good enough to where I might be able to convince the bosses in the future to do more watch parties. So hit that sub button. Don't miss out. Let's do it. All right, Red Sox lose 3-2. I don't have the answers. I don't. I wish I did, but I don't have the answers for this one. Garrett Crochet goes out and shoves 6 2/3, only 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 11 Ks. First pitch of the game, Jackson Chourio home run. I don't know. And then one more run, later in the game. Look, any day of the week, that should get you a win. When your pitcher goes out, gives you almost 7 and 11 Ks, that should get you the win any day of the week. And then you have Garrett Whitlock come in, and he finishes out the game. You didn't have to use any relievers there than Garrett Whitlock. So that's really good to see. That's a really good high note. That's what you would expect from your ace. And he did exactly what you needed him to do. Garrett Whitlock comes in, goes an inning and a third, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 1 Ks. That run that he gave up in the 8th was the deciding factor because the Red Sox came back and would have tied it up if that run had not been given up. They had 2 outs, and Whitlock gives up 2 walks, he gives up a single, and then he gives up a little chopper that scores a run, and that is the deciding run in the game for the Red Sox. Whitlock, better outing, didn't completely implode, but He didn't pitch when he needed to, and he didn't finish off the inning when he needed to, and it's another sore spot on his resume. Didn't implode, didn't do anything like that. He just didn't finish batters, which again is another theme of this team. They can't finish batters, and they didn't do that here. And it's another 1-run loss, and that's the deciding factor. Before we talk about the lineup, go grade Garrett Crochet's outing, A, B, C, D, or F. I got to give it a B-. I think he shoved. He did give up the home run, give up another run. Honestly, I'll give it a B+. I keep changing these every time. I have my original grade, and then I change it. I'm going to give it a B+. You grade Garrett Crochet's out in A, B, C, D, or F. You let me know down below. It's as good as you probably could have asked for. I would have probably liked him to go the entire 6th or the entire 7th, but beggars can't be choosers. He still shoved. It is what it is. The lineup, same shit, different day, man. They only struck out 7 times, which isn't bad for their standards. Considering the Brewers struck out 12 times. So, yeah. You tied them with hits with 7. You walked 7 times, which is ridiculous to me to think about. Devers walked 3 times today. You just, didn't perform when you needed to. That's the story. 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. You leave 10 runners on base. You had multiple opportunities with multiple runners on, and you scored no runs. You gave Garrett Crochet literally no run support. You threatened in the 9th. There were some good at-bats in the 9th. Jaron Duran's at-bat in the 9th was awesome. It was one of the best at-bats I've seen all season. But it doesn't matter if in the early innings, you're not going to score any runs when you have the opportunities. What are we doing? And here's the thing is, you look at the stat lines, and on paper, the stat line's not bad. It's just the situational hitting is so poor. It's so poor. I don't know what it is. At what point is Pete Fatsi the problem? Because what adjustments are we making? The hitting coach is there to make adjustments. What adjustments are we making? I've not seen the adjustments go into effect. When is it going to happen? Are you striking out as much? No. But you're popping up a bunch, you're hitting into double plays, you have 0 situational hitting. That's what the hitting coach is for. You need to change your approach. It's all pop-up, it's all pulled pop-ups. You need to hit the ball the other way. And they're not doing that. At what point, I don't want to blame this completely on the hitting coach because you have to go out and execute. But at what point do we see these adjustments? What are the adjustments? I don't see any adjustments. We're watching the same team every day do the same stuff. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. And at what point are they going to do something drastic? When? Someone tell me. This offense makes me sick to my stomach. They get runners on, and then they do not execute. Stop trying to hit the home run. Hit the ball the other way. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. But they know better than us. They know better than us. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. That's where I'm going to end it. My last question, I'm going to leave very open-ended, okay? I'm going to let you guys just go down in the comments and just riff. What would you do to fix the lineup? That's the question I'm going to end it on. Just go down in the comments and just let me know. And I also want to say, too, because I've seen a lot of comments, this is not a Cora problem. This isn't a Cora problem. Tell me what you want Cora to go do. Tell me, if you're on the fire Cora bandwagon, what should he do? Tell me what he should do differently to get this team to win. Because it's not a him problem. It's your pitchers are not going more than 4 or 5 innings. It's your bullpen constantly implodes and has no ice. It's your situational hitting and lack of offense. In what way is that Cora's fault? Go down and let me know. Because it's not. It's not a Cora problem. Cora is literally the least of the worries right now. There are a million other things we should be worried about. There are a million other people we should be throwing blame on. It's not a Cora problem. And again, I'm not defending him. I just what should he do differently? I don't, like, if you think you know it all, tell me, what should he be doing differently? He's not the problem here. But it is what it is. Go down in the comments. What would you do to fix the lineup? What would you do? I'm leaving it open-ended. You let me know. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like button and follow me on social media. All that stuff's going to be linked in the comments down below. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had a great Memorial Day. We go again later tonight. We'll see who's pitching. We don't know yet at the time of recording this. And until next time, go Sox.